Grab a warm cup of coffee, settle in, and just take a deep breath. We're going to have a real heart to heart today about something so many of us feel, but, well, we rarely actually talk about it. Between the endless demands, the heavy expectations, and that constant, unrelenting push to achieve, life can feel pretty exhausting, can't it? We're constantly told to just keep moving, keep striving, keep doing more. But let me ask you a gentle question. Are you just staying busy, or are you truly moving forward? Because there's a really profound truth we often miss in the rush of it all. Progress and growth, they're not always the same thing.
Be honest with yourself for a second. Have you ever worked incredibly hard to check all the right boxes? You finally reach the finish line and you just feel completely empty? It's a quiet fear so many of us carry, you know? This realization that maybe we've been climbing a ladder only to find out it's leaning against the entirely wrong wall. If you've ever felt that hollow ache despite doing everything right, I want to validate that for you right now. You aren't failing. You're just waking up to the fact that not every achievement is actually success. Let that sink in for a moment. So let's kind of reframe how we look at our journey. On one hand, we have making progress, which society tells us is all about speed, checking off lists, and highly visible results. But on the other hand, we have what we're really looking for, which is authentic growth. Authentic growth is about making progress without compromising who you are at your core. It's this deeply personal journey of unlearning the pressures placed on us and shifting from just chasing achievements to walking a path of genuine integrity.
So, let's talk about the first major part of this, aligning your inner compass. When we talk about authentic growth, it absolutely always starts from the inside out. Let's redefine a word we hear all the time, integrity. Integrity isn't just about honesty. Actually, scratch that. It's really about alignment. It's when your private life and your public life begin telling the exact same story. Imagine the immense relief of just taking off the masks. You no longer have to perform for others or shift your personality depending on who's watching. You just get to be you, consistently. Every small intentional decision you make becomes another quiet vote for the woman you truly want to become. I want to offer you a question that literally has the power to change everything. Just ask yourself, if no one applauded this decision, would I still make it? If your answer is yes, then you're experiencing a quiet, beautiful sign of real growth. You're no longer asking what will impress people. You're asking what's consistent with your own soul. Now, let's move to something I know we all struggle with, and that's the absolute exhaustion of comparison. Somebody always looks like they have more or like they're way further ahead. But comparison simply steals your gratitude. Authentic growth shifts you away from being motivated by comparison and moves you toward being measured by faithfulness. When you're truly growing, someone else's success doesn't threaten yours. You just stop racing people who were never running your race to begin with. You realize your growth isn't measured by speed, it's measured by your steady faithfulness to your own unique path. Which brings us to our next focus, the courage to protect peace. As you become more faithful to your own path, you're going to reach a really critical milestone, and that is setting boundaries. Saying no is a healthy boundary that protects your calling and honors your true priorities. If you've been a people pleaser in the past, I want you to know that as you grow, that tendency slowly disappears. And it's not because you've become selfish. No, it's because you found deep clarity about your purpose. Every single time you say yes to something that violates your values, you're quietly saying no to yourself. I want to softly remind you of a really powerful truth here. Every opportunity isn't your assignment. Let me just say that again, because it's so important. Every opportunity isn't your assignment. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your energy, your time, or your heart. Recognizing that is a profound sign of emotional maturity. Saying no to the wrong things isn't rejection. It's an act of deep obedience to yourself and the life you're trying to build. Of course, setting those boundaries and choosing integrity over people-pleasing can feel incredibly uncomfortable. But integrity chooses the honest road over the easy one. Instead of asking how you can avoid that discomfort, start asking, what is this discomfort teaching me? Reframe that feeling not as something to be afraid of, but as absolute evidence that lasting transformation is actively taking place within you. And that transformation leads right into our next step, reclaiming your true worth. As you bravely navigate that discomfort, it leads you to this incredibly liberating milestone, where we gracefully separate who you are from what you produce. Achievement becomes something you do, not who you are. I want to assure you, right now, that your value is completely secure. You have immense worth before the promotion, before the business takes off, before you get everything perfectly organized, and way before any external applause.
When your identity is secure in who you are, you find the freedom to pursue excellence without becoming a total slave to performance.
And part of reclaiming that worth means stepping away from the endless treadmill of perfection. Perfectionism is a cruel master, you know? It constantly moves the finish line, so you never quite feel like you've arrived. But authentic growth celebrates progress. It validates the small, quiet, daily steps. Integrity honors every faithful effort you make, recognizing that while you might not be exactly where you want to be quite yet, you are certainly not who you used to be either.
Never overlook the quiet miracles of slow growth. Consistency creates change. Small, daily decisions truly do become a completely different life over time. I really want to encourage you to celebrate those quiet victories. Celebrate the fact that you were more patient today. Celebrate that you kept a promise to yourself. Celebrate getting back up after a tough week or choosing peace over chaos in a really stressful moment. That progress is beautiful, and it absolutely deserves recognition.
Now let's move to our final theme, finding peace in the journey. This brings us to the most beautiful realization of all. True joy isn't waiting for you at some distant, imaginary finish line. It's actually available to you right now as you walk this path. When your life truly aligns with your deepest values, when you stop chasing validation and start walking with purpose, peace becomes your companion instead of anxiety. It doesn't mean your life will suddenly be perfectly easy, but it means your heart will be settled. That profound inner peace is the truest evidence that you're walking exactly where you are meant to be. So let this beautifully profound truth wash over you. The world celebrates visible success, but character is built where nobody is watching. Your greatest achievement will never be simply reaching a goal. Your greatest achievement is becoming a woman you genuinely respect and recognize when you look in the mirror. Those ordinary, faithful, quiet decisions you make every single day, those are your true victories. As we wrap up our conversation together, I want to invite you to pause and gently look inward without any judgment at all. Which of these milestones challenged you the most? Was it aligning your inner compass, protecting your peace by saying no, or maybe separating your worth from your achievements? Now, ask yourself this. Where have you seen evidence that you are growing with integrity? I want you to compassionately recognize your own quiet progress. Celebrate the areas where you are showing up for yourself, and gently spot the places where you might still be chasing approval instead of purpose. Just be kind to yourself in that discovery. I want to leave you with a gentle, hopeful invitation for the week ahead. What is one small decision you can make this week that better aligns your goals with your values? Remember, authentic success isn't about becoming someone completely different. It's simply about becoming more fully, beautifully, and authentically who you were always created to be. Thank you for spending this time with me today. It's always such an honor to walk alongside you. If this conversation brought you peace or clarity, please consider subscribing to Growth Beyond so we can keep learning together. And I would absolutely love it if you shared your reflections in the comments below. Your story might be exactly the encouragement another woman needs to hear today. Until next time, stay authentic, stay intentional, and keep walking in victory.